Well, we're happy to have 7 wins on our side of the ledger. Since it's been a long time since the football program here has had 2 winning seasons in a row, and now we're for sure going to have another winning season, and hopefully that will mean that we're in a bowl game at the end of the year. This week we play Fresno State, which is renewing a rivalry, and so I've been reading up on the rivalry, and it's a pretty amazing thing. There's only now I'm gonna forget. There's only 6 points difference. The two schools have played each other 50 times, and there's only 6 points difference in total score. San Diego State scored 1,017, and Fresno State scored 1,011 points in the 50 games. The overall records are close. San Diego State has a slight advantage. But more important, Coach Hill and I are pretty good friends, and I've watched this team on film on every game, and they're a really good football team. They really struggled on defense for a while. They were giving up 37 points a game and 450 yards or something like that, close to that. He changed defense coordinators, and in the last 2 weeks, they're giving up 24 points a game and 100 yards less in total offense. They've got a good quarterback. They've got a really good running back that's from locally here. They've got 4 very skilled wide receivers and some experience too. So I know they're disappointed in what their season's been so far, but they're one of the more talented football teams that we've played this year. Oh, I think it's nice when you have a rivalry like this that you have some kind of trophy that's a traveling trophy. I think that's – they didn't ask my opinion on what the trophy should be, but an oil can's just as good as anything. I mean –
What would yours say? Your trophy?
Oh, I have no idea. But, I mean, since we're going to be in the same league and all that, I mean – I'm surprised they didn't continue to play because it's a natural rivalry.
How much have you talked about this rivalry at practice? You said you were reading up on it, but for these guys that are seniors, they never even played Fresno State. So how do you kind of get them hyped up to start this renewal?
Well, we haven't talked about it yet. We're talking about it today. After all my extensive research, they're going to be educated today on some of the facts of the rivalry. And we have a local historian on our staff, too. He played in it. Coach Sipe played in it. I forget what the score was, but I have it written down. Coach Sipe is going to be called out in the meeting today if he lost.
What is your expectation that you and Fresno State will be in the same league 2 or 3 years from now?
My expectation is we'll be in the same league. I mean, I have no idea what's going on with all the conference realignments and all that. I have no idea.
Do you have any input in that process?
I wish I did, but no, I don't. I don't have any input whatsoever.
What do you think it means to the football program if you end up in the Big East?
I think if our football program's in a, quote, BCS conference that has national BCS standing, I think that's a huge benefit to the football program, but I think more importantly it's a huge benefit to the athletic department as a whole. I think it's a benefit to the community.
Coach, Kevin Escobar has been the most consistent playmaker in the passing game this season. What makes him so special that he's such a matchup problem for the other team?
He's 6'6", he's 6'6", and he weighs close to 250 pounds, and he's got really good hands and tracks the ball really well, and so he's a matchup problem. He's actually starting to become a really good blocker, which is really good for us. But he runs good routes. He's got great hands, and so if you put a linebacker on him, he can usually beat him with his speed and quickness. If you put a DB on him, he can shield the DB from the ball, even if the DB has him covered. So he has some huge physical advantages. And then being able to track the ball and having good hands really makes a difference too.
With him just being a sophomore, if he keeps improving, how good do you envision him being in 1 to 2 years?
Well, I mean, if he keeps going like he's going right now, he's going to be a great player.
possibility you could worry about him maybe leaving after junior year?
Of course. Why would you guys even bring that stuff up? Gee whiz. If he becomes really, really a good player, you worry about him coming out. I don't worry about any of them coming out. I truly believe if a kid is going to be a first or second round draft choice, he should come out. There's no reason not to come out. If you're going to make that kind of money, there's no reason to take a chance of getting hurt. Now, I also believe if you're not a first or second round draft choice, you ought to stay in school because you're not going to get big money up front, and your chances of making the team are very slim, where when you're a first and second round draft choice, you're going to make the team and you're going to get big money up front. So I truly believe if a kid's a first or second round draft choice, he should leave school. That's my personal opinion. And if he's not a first or second round draft choice, he should stay in school.
What's your outlook right now on the probability of bowl game?
I'm 50-50. You catch me at the right time of day, I'm very positive that we're going to get one. If you catch me at the other part of the day, I'm really disappointed that we're not. I mean, there's all kinds of scenarios for us to get one. If certain teams win or lose this weekend, in my mind, there's a real good chance that Boise State will get a at-large BCS bid. If certain teams don't lose, they won't. So if they get an automatic BCS bid, we're in for sure. If they don't get an automatic BCS bid, and then we're hoping that there's going to be some at-large spots that will pick us instead of some other people. I think all the coaches, we all do this. I think right now there's 70 spots for both teams. There's 71 teams qualified at this point, and there's a possibility of 4 others being qualified. Okay, and 3 of those 4 could lose because two of the ones are playing each other. 2 of the 4 are playing each other. So one more is going to get qualified for sure, but there's a possibility of 3 more guys getting qualified. So then there's 74 qualified teams for 70 spots. And if we're not in one of our conference guaranteed bowl games, now it's marketing and what we can bring to the table. It's a number of fans we could bring. It could be Ryan Lindley. It could be Ronnie Hillman. I mean, I would say out of the 4 or 5 or 6 teams that are hoping for those at-large spots, they don't have Ronnie Hillman on their team. So you got me in my positive moment right now.
Do you feel as if the Poinsettia Bowl is obligated to take San Diego State?
No, I don't think any bowl game's obligated to take anybody, but they are. I mean, from contracts that leagues – see, now here's an advantage to being in a BCS league. Contracts that leagues have, certain leagues are guaranteed everybody in their league that wins 6 games, sometimes even has a losing record at 6 and 7, they're going to get in a bowl game just by the status of their league and the contracts. Where there are other leagues that will have more bowl-eligible teams than they have contracts for bowl games. I mean, it's shocking to me. Last year, Temple was 8-4, and were left at home when there was so many 6-6 teams in bowl games. But it happened. Well, the Big East has 8 teams total. They have 7 bowl tie-ins. How good is that? 7 of your 8 teams are guaranteed a bowl game. All they have to do is win 6 games. And then there's another team that could be 8-4 and sitting at home watching you play on TV. There's some real advantages to being in those leagues now.
Best senior night is this weekend. How
Mm-hmm.
emotional do you get on those nights?
I don't. I would get more emotional if it was the last game of the year, but I'm counting on another game. I think it's very emotional for a player. And that concerns a coach at times. You know, you get so emotional about this might be your last game you ever get to play football, and all of a sudden you don't perform real well because you're so caught up in the emotion of the moment.